Hey everybody, and welcome back to another Monday Mindful Moment. I'm Dr. Angie Anderson, and as always, I'm super excited to be back yet again with you to share some very clear strategies on how to practice mindfulness in your everyday life with ease and grace. So if you have been following along with me for the last several weeks now, we're going on number 30 now. So we have been going through this wonderful book called 52 Ways to Live a Kick-Ass Life. And I absolutely love this book. If you have not had a chance to get it, Andrea Owen is a wonderful get real, get raw author that tells you all kinds of ways that you can practice mindfulness in a very real, raw way so you as well can live a kick-ass life. So make sure you get this book. If you're not a reader, that's okay, because you can keep coming back and joining us each and every week so that you can follow along. If you've missed the previous episodes, I would encourage you to head on over to my website at www.serenitycounselingcenterva.com, and there you can find all the previous Monday Mindful Moments, as well as my podcast, Serenity, Wellness, and More. There we come out a new episode every Wednesday, each and every Wednesday, to be able to bring on different guests, or also to further explore other topics that you may be interested in that's not as brief as these Monday Mindful Moments. You can also find some meditations and also some yoga sessions if you're into that. So I would encourage you to follow along. And best yet, it's free, so it doesn't cost you anything. We will never turn away a donation, though. So if you've got a donation or you'd like to be a sponsor for an episode and get your business out there, we would love to have you for that. All right, so let's get started on 52 ways to live a kick-ass life. This is forgive yourself. And what I have been doing is going through and just sharing with you my ahas, my takeaways, and so forth. But yet, this one's so powerful that I think it's important to be able to just read it to you, because it's not a very long chapter, but it is very, very powerful. So come on, let's sit back and listen how you can now forgive yourself. It's so important. So you already know how important it is to love yourself. The gospel truth here is you cannot truly love yourself if you are still beating yourself up for things you did in the past. The things you still mull over in your head could vary greatly. Maybe you had or are having an affair. Maybe you abused your body somehow, or maybe you were promiscuous as a teen. Or you had an abortion. Or maybe you just made some really terrible decisions somewhere along the line. P.S. Everyone has. It intrigues me, Andrea Owen, that it's easier for people to forgive other people for hurting them than it is for them to forgive themselves for things they've done. It fascinates me how women will tell me, Andrea Owen, they have confidence and self-love. Yet when I ask them if they're forgiven themselves for all the mistakes they've made in the past, I can almost see a ghost come across in front, or I see a ghost cross in front of their face. Then they reveal one or two things they've been dragging around. I see this all the time in counseling, and I do not believe that you can move on and beyond growing and healing if you cannot come to forgiving yourself. I did do a really good podcast on the power of an apology on forgiving yourself. So if this is something you're really struggling with, I would highly encourage you to go check out that podcast about forgiving. I believe it's called A Power of Apology. So back to the chapter. Andrea Owen, I truly believe that by not forgiving ourselves, we are participating in self-hate, which is the fastest way to living an unfulfilled, unhappy, and unkick-ass life. Not forgiving yourself is like that damn fly that will not leave you alone while you're trying to enjoy the summer barbecue. You keep swatting at it away and go on enjoying yourself, but that pesky thing is relentless and just keeps showing up uninvited. So, let's take a step back and look at whatever it was that you did that you can't seem to forgive yourself for. Try your best to remember what your true intentions were at that time. Let's say you cheated on a partner. What were you actually looking for when you committed the act? If I had to guess, you were looking for comfort, validation, connection, and love. And at that time, your truest intention was to take care of yourself and get those feelings in the fastest way you knew how. Was the action the best way to get to those feelings? Maybe not. But my point is that you were looking for basic, human, instinctual, loving feelings. A way to take care of yourself the best way you knew how at that time. When you look at it from this perspective, can you still hate yourself for your attempt to fulfill basic self-care? Remember, you are human. By forgiving yourself, you're not saying it's okay to repeat the same mistakes. You're not saying it's okay for your children to do the same things. It doesn't mean anything except you love yourself enough to admit that you are a mortal human being who did the best you could with the tools you had at that time. That, my friends, is 100% true. Sometimes in the humanness of us all, there is some human mess. We all have it. We all cope the best we know how at that time with the tools we have. Learn from it and move on. We all make mistakes, even disasters sometimes, yet no one is benefiting from you holding on to this. Certainly not you. What is the price you are paying for holding on to this? Are you more stressed, less ambitious, less happy, less fulfilled? It's not worth it. Even if you know it's the right thing to do, forgiving yourself can be difficult. To start, make a list of all the things you beat yourself up for. Whether you come down on yourself on a regular basis or every once in a while, write it out. Yes, it might be painful to see it in front of you, but do it anyway. Sometimes getting it all out of you helps the past lose its power over you. It's as if you've purged it. Your past just becomes words on a page, and it isn't as horrific and gargantuan as you've made it out to be. Even if you know it's the right thing to do, forgiving yourself can be difficult. Then make the decision to forgive yourself. If this is too hard at this point, try making peace with the situation. It happened. No more soul beatings. And if you still think it's too hard to forgive yourself, think about the alternative, which is continuing to hold resentments against yourself. Say it again. At the time you did whatever it was you did the best you could with the tools you had at that time. Otherwise, you would have done things differently. Think about this. If it were your child or your partner or your best friend and they did what you did, then truly felt remorseful and asked for forgiveness and you truly believed they did the best they could at the time they made the mistake, would you forgive them? Or would you tell them, nah, you still need to suffer? I don't think so. Imagine what would happen if you allowed yourself to move away from past mistakes in the same way. You deserve forgiveness. You deserve peace. You deserve to let go of what is holding you back. So that, my friends, is the importance and significance of forgiving yourself. So if you're struggling with this, I encourage you to listen to this. These tools work. Sometimes I ask my clients to just write a letter to themselves, an apology letter. It's so powerful, it's so important, and it's so significant that you do this for your healing process. Then once you forgive yourself, you can move onward with ease and grace, practicing mindfulness to do that self-care again. Because if you don't forgive yourself, you're just going to keep punishing yourself and more resentments are going to build up. If you need any support or feedback on this, please do not hesitate to reach out to me. This is a tough one, but it's very important. If you can forgive yourself, you will move on with ease and grace. Hope everyone's staying healthy. Hope everyone's taking care of themselves. And as always, I say to you, namaste. Take care, everyone. Bye-bye.